Good evening, everyone. Every year that we come together for this convention, we celebrate our collective milestones and broaden the impact of NAPABA, whose growth and influence are a direct result of you being engaged in this national bar organization. As your convention chair, I want to tell you about the growth that you directly show by the record attendance of close to 1,900 attendees this year, the official largest convention in NAPABA history. Even at this size, there's still this air of family belonging and synergy when we connect and reunite. My friends, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this privilege and honor to serve and address you as your president. You see, my family has had a long journey to see me today. My great-grandfather immigrated here and found a job in America as a railroad worker, earning meager wages under dangerous conditions to build something in a literal and figurative sense. He was not only building what would eventually become the Trans-Pacific Railroad, but establishing a better life here for his family. That led to the opportunity for my grandfather and his partners to start a humble little Chinese restaurant in 1935, serving the Japanese American community in what is now called Little Tokyo in Los Angeles. The restaurant's name was the Far East Cafe, that still stands today with its neon sign that says Chop Suey. My dad later bussed tables there, while Mom was in nearby Chinatown, where she was a seamstress at a sewing factory. After World War II and the Japanese internment camps, many Japanese Americans came back home to nothing, but they returned to the Far East Cafe that continued to serve families needing to rebuild. Apparently, the Far East Cafe was popular to generations of Japanese Americans who wanted to celebrate weddings, birthday parties, and other milestones. If one didn't have enough money to pay for a meal, that was okay, because you could just wash dishes or you'd make it up next time, because there was an understanding that we all had to stick together and look out for each other in hard times. While the restaurant had great starchy Chinese food, the greater significance was it being an informal hub of the Japanese American community after the camps, and the building is now designated a National Historic Landmark. We've had generations of anti-immigrant racism and ignorance even today, and we continue to be resilient. I look no farther than my uncle and aunt, the Alitos, to serve as an example. The Alitos are the most generous, compassionate, and loving people you ever come across. What you wouldn't guess is that the Alitos face the deepest hatred. Their brother, my uncle, Joseph Alito, was a Filipino-American US postal worker who went to work one day in August 1999 and was shot by a white supremacist during his shooting rampage at a Jewish community center. Joseph was shot 9 times because the murderer thought he was Latino or Asian. My uncle was killed because of the color of his skin. Since this loss, the Alitos have been advocating against hate crimes and helping other victims of hate crimes, and have partnered with Asian Americans advancing justice on hate crime awareness with a fellowship under Joseph Alito's name. Even after being the victim of the worst kind of racism and unfairness, the Alitos chose to make Joseph's memory live on through bringing joy and inspiration to everyone they come across. The Alitos are here today, and thank you, Aunt Dina and Uncle Smiles, for being role models by combating hate with love and strength. We all have unique stories and inspirations that come from our experiences, whether you're Asian American, gay, or female. My inspiration comes from my great-grandfather's sacrifice and service in building our railroads, my grandfather's commitment to the community through the Far East Cafe, and my relatives' resilience in times of tragedy. Collectively, our stories of overcoming adversity have brought us together in this room by way of an affinity and appreciation of those experiences. And while our journeys involve challenges, what is important is how we've overcome them and how these stories drive what we do every day in setting a path for those who come after us. The trailblazers before us have done so much, and we have a duty to continue to push forward. During my first year as a lawyer, the main partner of my law firm told me I'd never be a trial lawyer because I was too quiet and meek. Maybe I was. Or maybe I was painted with the brush of implicit bias because I was an Asian American female. I am grateful for that comment because that lit a fire under me to become a trial lawyer and my firm's first Asian American office managing partner in its over 100-year history. I owe much of that to my mentors, many in this room, through the network of my local affiliate Gala and NAPABA. This underscores the importance of NAPABA, which will continue its robust programming and advocacy as the voice of the Asian American legal profession. Here's how we're going to help our community. First, NAPABA will stand for the advancement of APA women in the legal profession. NAPABA has been a leader, thank you, with 2 consecutive NAPABA women presidents. But still, we still see today articles about women minorities leaving law firms and the statistics that minority women continue to be the most dramatically underrepresented group at the partnership level, essentially across all firms and all jurisdictions. In response, we added specialty women programming last Thursday to the convention and have adopted the National Association of Women Lawyers Challenge on increasing diverse female lawyers in every segment of the legal profession by 1/3 by 2020. I urge all of our affinity bar associations, in fact, every bar association, to partner together to also adopt this challenge. Second, NAPABA will continue to foster synergies between our in-house counsel and outside counsel in developing business relationships. The ABA House of Delegates recently passed Resolution 113, encouraging legal service providers to increase spending and hiring of diverse lawyers, and NAPABA supports ABA Resolution 113. We will also continue to find ways to add value to our diverse in-house counsel to support their advancement in their companies. This will be discussed in the newly formed subcommittee of the Partners in Upper Management of Law Firms that we just formed this weekend. Third, as part of our practice, we recognize that we, as individuals and our clients that we serve, confront a range of mental health issues, including stress, anxiety, depression, life transition, and substance abuse. Unfortunately, we don't always seek help, or we don't always seek help that we or our clients need. It may be due to lack of resources or cultural shame in addressing these issues. In turn, NAPABA has launched a task force on the importance of self-care to address how we can support each other and our clients. Lastly, we will share stories of inspiration through NAPABA. We want to capture some of these stories in a series of TED-style talk videos so we can continue to inspire each other. And of course, we will continue our advocacy and lobby work along with our partner bar associations, including the ABA, NBA, HNBA, NANABA, and the National LGBT Bar. After the conclusion of this unforgettable election cycle, We are ready to assist in appointments with the new presidential administration. This, along with numerous other programs, are in the works, and I'm extremely excited to work with this year's board of amazing leaders that I call my brothers and sisters. And I'm thankful to have all of those that energized and inspired me along the way to get here. Thank you to the local host committee chairs, Brian Bun, Marty Lorenzo, and Jerry Milana, and all of you who have contributed to the planning of this convention. Thank you to immediate past President Jin Huang for her friendship and her tireless service to the organization, and also to our great NAPABA staff, and especially to our meetings and membership director, Priya Parandare, for her hard work for this convention, and our longtime leader and executive director, Tina Matsuoka. I also must acknowledge my law firm, Duane Morris, and its attorneys here. I've been with this firm for 11 years. When my firm asked me to become the office managing partner, I said to the chairman, "I'm pregnant. You sure you want to do this?" And he said, "Cyndie, your pregnancy is short term, but we value you for the long term." And I said, "Well, great, and I'll be taking my full maternity leave." Most importantly, I thank my supportive family, especially my mom and dad who are here. I could not serve the community were it not for their sacrifices that allow me to do this. I think about my children, including my daughter Celine, who is also here. My children keep me on my toes as they bounce off the walls and provide me the motivation to make this a better place for the next generation. Thank you to all of you who contribute to the richness and diversity of NAPABA, and because of that, we keep doing great things. Please continue to honor this organization and our fellow members with a sense of gratitude and generosity, because when we come together with our stories, our inspirations, our passion, we come together as NAPABA. That's why you are NAPABA, that's why I am NAPABA, and that's why we are NAPABA. Thank you for your friendship.